You've ordered 15 kilometers of this direction. The works of directed the access were 3 lanes of each directions of total 6 lanes and widths of 26 meters. Have you ordered to execute 9 lanes of each directions, 5 for the main and 4 for the service. And in the middle widths 5 meters, and in some areas would reach 45 meters. That is the compass of the oil lines. And this is the design sector that affirms 5 lanes for the regular vehicles, and the rest were for the service. In the middle of the works to develop the lakes and destination works of the sites of the construction axis, till now of 86% of executions. That was a great challenge for us to improve the type of the soil existed, to execute 1.10 thousand meters of execution, percentage of 68%. Give me a chance, Ahmed, please, in the name of Allah. Dr. Abdul Salam, is he there? Dr. Abdul Salam, is he available? And General Kamil, as well as General Kamil. Dr. Abdul Salam was the president of the group supervising the engineering and scientific secure. Can we listen from you? Many happy return, Dr. Abdul Salam. I would like to tell you that Dr. Abdul Salam is the grand, if you allow me to say this word, I say, because this issue, the project in this area, that is a point of debate. We're talking about from 3 to 9 lanes that is buried in lake, therefore is subject to have some landslides throughout 1 to 3 years. That was a point of debate, Ihab, isn't it true? I would like to be assured that Dr. Abdul Salam is reviewing this issue from a few months, say the mid of March. I go to visit the site monthly, each day, to discuss what's taken place from works to examine the soil, the works of improving it, and make an examination and test of different characteristics to be discussed throughout the day, some to be extended till night to complete, and we'll make in contacts among the visits, information on the ground to be reported with and to discuss it. The story of the axis, that is, in fact, even though 35 kilometers, but from my point of view, it is one of the biggest projects in the world of roads, due to the characteristics of the site, which is, I have a soil that is unbalanced with respect to the engineering specifications, due to the thickness or the depth of the soil that we are concerned about, starting from the surface, that to be established upon. In our science, the affected layer is the components of the lay. The sand is a friend and ends their movement upon construction without any problems, but the lay have problems to be continued for tens of years. Some would say that 90% of landslide after 60 years, if we're talking about in these numbers according to its thickness, its types, that have different types of engineering specifications and the thickness that varied alongside the axis ranging from 1 till 18 meters. These components give landslide under the loads of the dead road in order to reach the surface layers that would come or would reach to 1 meter to be pushed off a volume of 1 meter. So if it was lifted under the load, it would take tens of years in order to reach 50% of it. So the means that were emerged among the good ones to improving the specifications of the sand or the sanitations of the sand that are main, the move go through the horizontal of short distances without vertical for length movement to short the tens of years to 1 year. We have from the monitoring currently some zones that happen 60% of landslide. Areas that are currently executed after months, we have from 20 to 30% of land. We're trying. They are good because of the differences of the depth, because of the vertical pull of the sand that reach the underneath. So the landslide is from a few centimeters till 20 centimeters that they are laying down. In order to open the roads for passage, and it is expected for the few years, the 20 centimeters that remain to take their path in the upcoming years. I thank you for what we've understood. It is very important for the people to listen, because it is subject for a great debate by the engineers as well as the citizens, to be self-assured, as you said, because it was executed on very solid and hard soil. But the executed and engineering measurement that achieve the minimum of damages for the road through an acceptable period of time. You agree with such an expression? I agree with you, sir. I'm assured, Abdel Salam, as we've discussed, we've told, I've sent just a grand officer specialized in such a field to be with us of such an issue, not just for the first time to do the examination, for to be with us at the end of the road, at least as we expected to be done. As you said to me, during the periodical maintenance of the roads, what we are expecting to be treated so to be acceptable. But you advise the last layer not to be done, at least of 75% theoretically, and the field monitoring that is emerged accidentally, that is go in line with the calculations. of the site and the space. It is acceptable, which is good to assure us that we are going to, when we'll be reaching for the 75% in order to do the surface layer. So we are working 20 or 15 at the west in the same time, so we are going to be in need to continue in the same space till we end the rest of the 50 kilometers. Thank you, Dr. Abdeslam. Please be seated. I wanted just to propose and to be assured of the path we're taken through. And I say, when we've proposed this project, the road was 3 lanes. When we talk about it, not to take it or to do it for temporarily, or we are working in to solve the problems, at least for the upcoming 20 years, because of the engineering effort as well as the expenditure of the 35 kilometers access. Many of us would expect that its cost isn't less than we expected. Therefore, we can finish it at the end of this year. So the planning was more than that. Yes, is it true, Kamel? Yes, it was a must, more than 1 year. Yes, what we've done from the perspective engineering point of view. So the irregular landslide, as Dr. Abdeslam said, we have the land at the ports of sand in between. Therefore, Dr. Abdeslam should wait for the layers of the solid soil. So I should be waiting. I would give him the basis and wait for a while, and then to compensate the sand layers in between the sand poles, and to be compensated of basis layers, and wait not to do the surface layers in order to avoid extra landslide. So the issue of the working with the sand in order to let the water to work horizontally and then vertical to extend the period, and that was the style as presented by Dr. Mustafa in order to make vertical tapes and to be expanded, to be vibrated. I think that to wait for a while and not to get to hurry. We are working for a road to live for a long time. As we started the road, we said from 18 till 24 months. So you want to say, as we said, in order to put a linkage layer and to wait for a while. And then for 30 you will be laying down, and for the road Farag access we were expecting to be more than that, because we're working for heavy machineries that's landed now before. And we lasted for 3 years to be opened. As the industrial work is not just the soil, and what has been done was, but we have to wait for a while. Yes, Mr. Eham.